We have had quite the week for Mortal Kombat movie news this week. We had Funko Pops that were announced, we have a possible Johnny Cage controversy, the first 13 minutes were released of trades and viewers, and we also have a potential of a Mortal Kombat movie video game that could be released. Yeah, we're going to break all that down and more in today's Mortal Kombat movie news mashup. So first, let's talk about the Mortal Kombat movie Funko Pops that were announced. So this week, Funko announced 8 new Funko Pops that are based off the Mortal Kombat movie, and from the selection that we have below, I was lucky enough to get, at first, 4 out of the 7 that were initially released, and then I found that there's a glow-in-the-dark Sub-Zero one, and thanks to a Twitter peep who messaged me up where to find it, I did some detective work and found that they were still available, so I got some from Walmart and some from this entertainment website that is selling them, and I'll include a link down below if you want to get your hands on those if they're still available, but now I've got 5 out of the 7, and Mr. Lewis Tan himself liked that on Twitter. Thank you very much. But from the Funko Pops we have, like I said, we have 8 total. 3 of them are Scorpion. We have 3 of them are Scorpion. 1 is Sonya Blade. 1 is Cole Young. And I believe the other 2 are going to be Sub-Zero. And I have to say that when it comes to Funko Pops, I think with the Mortal Kombat, I would like to see a little bit more variety. I mean, where's Kung Lao? Where's the movie version of Goro? Where's Cabal? You know, maybe they'll release those later on, but I think so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think we don't need as many varieties of the same characters. I know that Scorpion and Sub-Zero are like the, mascots of Mortal Kombat, but I like a little bit more variety. I think it'd be more piques collectors' interest if we have more variety, and then maybe you surprise us later on with different variants at different shops, which is kind of what they did. Now, these 8 are in addition to the other 17 that are already available from Funko that I guess are out there from GameStop exclusives, Hot Topic, Funko directly, Walmart, etc. I have not actually collected any of those because when it comes to Funko Pops, as you can tell, behind me I've got a Golden Girl set that was gifted to me because I like Golden Girls, and I've got a Heroes Academia that I gifted my wife for Christmas, and I bought one from Mulan that I was going to do for a giveaway when the channel first started, but I decided to keep for myself because I like the movie so much. But I also have the Batman one, a little bit of Funko Pops of the Batman animated series Blu-ray set, but I don't have enough room to collect a lot of Funkos. I do have some Flash ones because I'm a Flash fan, but I'm not that into Funkos, but I could be getting into them with this Mortal Kombat movie set. But overall, let me know in the comments what you think about these Funko Pops. Are you going to get your hands on one? If you were lucky enough to get your hands on one of the pre-orders, which one did you order and which one did you not order? Next up, let's talk about this Johnny Cage controversy. So I saw this on Twitter and I thought, this does make a little bit of sense and as to why Johnny Cage is possibly not going to be in the Mortal Kombat movie. Now, it has been confirmed by the director and screenwriter that Johnny Cage does live within the Mortal Kombat movie universe, so if there were to be a sequel or possible sequels, or if there's a TV show where something happens within the realm of, this new Mortal Kombat entertainment universe, that's what I'm calling MKEU, we could see Johnny Cage pop up. And so the reason that we supposedly have that Johnny Cage is not in this upcoming movie, supposedly, is it has to do with race. Now, given today's climate with, unfortunately we have Asian Americans and people of Asian descent that are being, unfortunately killed and murdered due to what happened with the pandemic that's happened and stuff with politics. I don't really get into much of that, but we have that happening and it is a serious matter. And we have Mortal Kombat, which basically is martial arts. From the first movie, from the video game, I know it was made by white guys, but the whole goal was that they had, their love and passion for martial arts. And then the characters that they brought to life were very much of, of the Asian descent, and they reflected that in their characters and the environments of the stages and the powers and the move sets, all that kind of stuff, the lore. And so this movie very much does the exact same thing, especially with the scenes we've seen in the trailer of like Hanzo Hasashi and Bi-Han, and stuff in back then in Imperial Japan. So we see a lot of that already, and so having Johnny Cage, I can see where that can be a problem where, he's not the direct hero of the movie. He wasn't the first one. He's not in the video game, but he is, I would say, of the main 3. So we have like Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, and Johnny Cage. And I get that we have 2 white characters outshining an Asian character. If we went back to the original movie, I could see where nowadays they want more diversity. So, I mean, they say that, and unfortunately we have one African American guy in there. We have Jax. So I think, we eventually can get more of that, or, I don't know, a redhead. And I don't know, we could have all kinds of people in there of different hair color, skin color, Christian, LGBTQ, transgender, whatever you want to put in there. We could have a mix of everything. But ultimately, I could kind of see on one side why Johnny Cage would have maybe caused a problem for some, because you have a movie that's basically heavily influenced by Asian ancestry and Asian martial arts and et cetera, and yet you have only one main hero be Asian and everybody else be white. I know that may sound silly to some because you obviously from this movie you can see we have Scorpion and Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung, You have Cole Young, who I believe is half. You have Kung Lao. We have Liu Kang. So we have quite a bit of people. Oh, Raiden. We have quite a bit of people in this movie that are of Asian descent, you know, or Asian American, have Asian ancestry. So I can see where we're diverse like that. And we have like Kano and Sonya and probably some other characters mixed in. And of course, I said Jack. So I think of the main reason why they brought Cole Young and to be the main hero is to kind of be better, you know, better represent what Mortal Kombat basically stemmed from and is influenced by. And in my mind, that kind of makes sense. So I'm hoping maybe in the sequel, if there is a sequel or if they do a series or something, Johnny Cage could be a part of it and be just the comic relief that we've known him for and not so much a show stealer or just, you know, just a member of the team. Because obviously we know from this movie, if this movie does well, they're not going to introduce Cole Young and just, you know, throw him away. So I feel like after this movie goes on, if, you know, we get more of Shang Tsung or Quan Chi or whoever we think is going to be in the sequel, as far as like a villain, I don't think we'll get Shinnok just yet, but maybe. But if we go as far as having a sequel, then we could possibly have Cole Young and a Johnny Cage team up, which I think would be great and fans would love it. Now I know some fans are hating on this on Twitter and giving Todd Gardner a hard time. He's a screenwriter of the movie, and I think they need to kind of lay off because it's very sensitive nowadays. And I think in all reality, we want a movie that we can all feel good about and all enjoy together. So it's okay, guys. If we don't get Johnny Cage, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. All that really matters is that we get a Mortal Kombat movie that is worthy of our attention, of our money, that makes us feel good and makes us appreciate the video game more, because that's what it's all about. We have a movie that is a good representation of the video game, which is hard to do nowadays. So that's my 2 cents on that. But let me know your thoughts below in the comments, how you feel about Johnny Cage not being in the movie. I know I've covered it in the past, you know, probably The Miz possibly being cast, which I think would be a great casting. But what do you think about Johnny Cage not being in the movie? And what do you think about it possibly being related to more diversity in the cast of the movie? All right, let's talk about the Mortal Kombat movie possibly having a video game adaptation. Now, this leak was presented by @FutureBoyKamikaze on YouTube from a leak that he found on Reddit. And I gotta say that while the leak is very subtle, you know, it's not giving a whole lot, it does make me kind of think about, well, could this be possible? Because, you know, while we haven't had any Mortal Kombat 11 content be announced yet, you know, still holding out for Combat Pack 3 or something, if not an announcement of Mortal Kombat 12 coming out in a year or two, you know, we could possibly have something happen with Mortal Kombat. Now, we don't know if we're going to have like a skin pack tie-in for Mortal Kombat 11, so if that doesn't happen, we should, you know, fans would probably want some type of video game something of the movie. Now, I know we got Funko Pops, which is great. We want more merchandise like that, but, you know, I'm trying to think, what could we do for Mortal Kombat? So we could have like a fighting game, you know, just like a mobile fighting game. We could have, I like to play those, you know, match 3, you know, puzzle games. I wouldn't mind playing one of those that's more stylized, like there's like a Marvel puzzle game that's out there, like Marvel Force or something. I wouldn't mind playing something like that. I mean, I guess we could also have, you know, just maybe something adapted to Mortal Kombat Mobile. I mean, that's already out there, so they don't have to like wholly reinvent the wheel. But I just thought this was very interesting that this leak is coming out saying that there are placeholders that they found in code to show that there are games that could be related to the movie. So I'm really interested to see what happens with that. And I'd love to know your thoughts below if you think that, you know, Mortal Kombat 11 not having a Combat Pack 3 announced yet, which I would highly think that the closer we get to the movie release date and the 2-year anniversary date, we hear something. But if not, would you want to see something video game representative of Mortal Kombat movie in either a standalone game, whether it be just like not a grandiose fighting game like Mortal Kombat, but like a, you know, cheaper, more puzzle-like game or just quick fighting game, or would you rather see something adapted to Mortal Kombat Mobile? And lastly, let's talk about the 13 minutes of the movie that were released to trades and some reviewers online. So unfortunately, I was not one of the ones selected to view the first 13 minutes of the movie. I, amongst other small YouTubers, generally are not picked for that kind of stuff, just like we weren't picked for the gift boxes. But hey, you know, someday, hopefully the channel's big enough where I will get picked, and I will love to see that and share that with y'all. But I did get to read about it, and from what I've heard, it's very much like what has been seen in Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. So it's basically setting up the tale of Mortal Kombat. So it's basically Scorpion versus Bi-Han, or Hanzo Hasashi versus Bi-Han. So this is going to be where Bi-Han and his clan basically kill Scorpion's family and kill Scorpion, leading up to, or killing Hanzo Hasashi, leading up to how he becomes Scorpion and thrusting us into the Mortal Kombat universe. Now, in the animated movie, Quan Chi was involved with that because we find out that Quan Chi is the one who actually turns Hanzo Hasashi into Scorpion so he can get his revenge against Bi-Han, who is Sub-Zero. And then we find out that Quan Chi later basically set Sub-Zero up because Scorpion kills Sub-Zero, or Bi-Han, and it was all done by Quan Chi. He planned all that. So we don't know if Quan Chi's actually going to be involved in this movie. It'd be nice if he actually has like a cameo, or maybe at least is referenced to, because we know if he's referenced, then that means he's going to be in the MK movie universe, or the MKEU, and possibly show up in a sequel or a TV series, or maybe a comic book adaptation or a book or something that will basically tie him into the universe. Now, everything we've seen from the movie so far as trailers, pretty much told us to be true. So we've seen Hanzo Hasashi fighting members of Bihan's clan with his, his famous, scorpion dagger on a rope, and we've also seen where Anak is being stabbed to the paper wall with a bloody stain. So we know all this is kind of being foretold in the trailers. So the first 13 minutes is going to be a great way to set that up, and it's going to be interesting to see how. This rivalry is basically what propels throughout the movie but it'll be interesting to see how much lore they actually build into the movie based off these two characters, and how far that propels us from start to end and possibly into sequels. If you've seen the first 10 minutes of the movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And if you haven't, based on what I've described, you think that's a worthy way to start the movie. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. For more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe to the bell. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.